tackling AI fatigue with a real traditional SEO topic, natural link integration. Link building is still relevant, links are still relevant, search engines are still relevant, but people get it wrong all the time. This session is a deep dive into how to link naturally, how to make sure that your links are not ignored by search engines or even worse, penalized. So imagine you are reading a piece of content and we put content first before links, before all the clever stuff. So we're going to go through how content flows. As we read a bit of content, there's varying degrees of a need for a link to exist in that content. So as we go paragraph to paragraph, sentence to sentence, you can see how at different points in that article, let's call it an article, there are different moments where at some point link would be useful, and at other moments link is definitely not needed or relevant in that context. So if we draw a line at a certain point, we can call it the link desire threshold, right? So if our threshold is very, very high, we're going to get fewer relevant links. If we lower it down, we're going to get more links. And if we have threshold at a very low point, we're going to have lots of links on the page. There's no right and wrong here. It just means that you're more likely to link only to essential things when your threshold is very high, and you're going to link to a lot of things when the threshold is low. So let's take this article by Scarlett Johansson. There's a bit of text. The author wrote stuff and decided to put links throughout the article, right? So there we have it. ChatGPT had likened to her own, obtained by NBC. There are certain moments where a link, oh yeah, it's useful at that moment. So a seasoned writer like Rebecca knows when and how to put a link that expands, explains, proves the point that she's making currently in the article. So on the left, we're seeing Rebecca's links. And on the right, we're seeing readers' expectations. They are very much aligned. So this, sadly, comes with experience and intuition, and not everyone who does SEO has those, especially not in proper journalistic writing, high-quality blogging, editorial expertise. These are things that take both skill, refinement, experience, but also talent. So how do we balance the utility of a link and positive user experience? Well, first of all, as an SEO industry, we do 1 plus 2. Well, not everybody, but I would say 90% of the cases of the backlinks that I see is 1 plus 2. What do I mean by that? Here's an email that I got, and people saying, "Oh, you can post an article on this blog, but we only allow one commercial link, and you can include 1 to 3 authority links to well-ranked news, government, or similar sites." Look at that. Include a link to a post on our website to help with internal SEO. Wow, I'm not going to comment on any of this stuff, but I think some of you are starting to understand the problem with this whole thing. Only one commercial link is allowed. It should look natural and not spammy. Okay. 1 plus 2. 1 for you, 2 to make it look natural, right? So the idea is it makes it look less natural, in fact, because you're starting to create a pattern that can be detected very easily algorithmically. And you're also creating negative user experience. People like to see links when they're useful, not just because you wanted to shove one commercial link and provide some random 2-3 links to make it look authoritative. So this whole paradigm encourages poor link integration. Well, I analyzed many, many links, and I've scraped a chunk of the web to do this analysis, and ton of different anchor text variants. I focused on 10 of the top quality blogs I've used Engadget, Entrepreneur, Gizmodo, HuffPost, and so on. You get the idea. So these are high quality, editorially curated, well written, well linked places. And I did a huge meta analysis of per page linking patterns on these blogs. And I found some really interesting stats about how they link, how much they link, and so on. So I understood the link domains, the external links, minimum link domains, minimum links, and maximum links. And the averages were quite surprising. There were 18 average number of external domain links on organic posts. This is average, obviously. Some of them link to 3, some of them link to 50. But 18 was the average. And I checked my numbers and again and again and again, and I couldn't understand why so many links per post. And this is the actual number of external domain links on inorganic posts. Mashable, guest post, rubbish WordPress website with a template, and you can tell it's paid links. Real? Not real. So my tip is, when writing for the web, link out to as many pages as it will be useful to your audience. Don't worry about SEO, don't worry about anything else. Every link must have a strong purpose, otherwise it shouldn't exist. And purposes can be defined as attribution, reference, definition, expansion, identification, example, action, relationship, proof, promotion. Yes, promotion can be a valid reason to link to somebody. A link must lead to the strongest possible page. This is really important, and this is what everyone gets wrong. Strongest logic, strongest situation, strongest narrative, strongest utility, strongest relevance. So liberal linking plus purpose plus primacy equals magic. So let's see. This is a Gizmodo blog post with some links on it. And they all look fine. They have a purpose, they have a place, the source is relevant, the target is relevant. There isn't a better link target for that particular link in that moment in the paragraph. It's great. So this page is, suppose, audited by Google's web spam team member, and or is algorithmically evaluated. So there are 17 links on that page. Who wanted the link on that page? We can't tell. We don't know. There's too many links. And anyone could have wanted the link on that page. We just can't make that decision. We can't make that call. There's nobody to penalize. Liberal linking. That alone is a good starting point, but just throwing a bunch of links on a page, it's not going to help you. Because if you fail at purpose and primacy of the link, you're still going to get into trouble. And it does happen all the time. Just takes this one little line on a piece of text. Real estate. I just highlighted real estate, and that became a link. Boom. Spam. There's no user-centric need for the link to exist in the context of the story. Nobody wanted it at that point in time. Even if there was, why did it link to that one special real estate place in one part of LA instead of just a broad real estate resource or a stats website? So there was no meaningful target selection. So link is an afterthought paradigm. Link is created in support of content. Content is not created in support of links, but that's not how SEOs operate. They do the opposite. So your link building effort actually goes down as the content quality goes up. So that's the matrix of content quality and link building effort. So as a starting point, focus on content. Consider all that is of value and where it lives. That's important. If that's missing, throw it away. Go to step 0 and make sure that that exists. Create value. So next step, write and link out generously to best pages. And I really mean it. Just link out to whatever makes sense to link out to. Relevant domains, not just your own. So not just to yourself, not just to your client. Link to everyone who deserves the link on that page. In tune with your reader's expectations, of course. There has to be that need for the link at that moment in a sentence. So remember how I analyzed a whole bunch of links and anchor texts on these high quality blogs? Look at the anchor text distribution. So this here is the actual natural anchor text. Here, said, reports, website announced. I can get a feel for the types of words that are being used, right? Report, press release, blog post, study, wrote, blog, article, told, yeah? So 10 most used anchor texts account for majority of all anchor text used by frequency. That's them there. 100,000 of all anchor text analyzed are almost exclusively single-use instances. It's a very, very long tail. That's how it looks like. Anchor text distribution is what you're looking at right now. So then there's syntax. We can do analysis using Ahrefs or similar tools to see what those patterns are like, what makes a good anchor text good anchor text. So the idea is if your anchor text fits the natural pattern of existing anchor text on that site, your link will be near impossible to devalue or penalize. Natural anchor text, liberal linking, purpose, supremacy. So these are the blogs used for the analysis. What I did next is I scraped the websites and extracted all the links, treated them as markup, tokenized everything, converted to token IDs, and we basically said 0, not a link, 1, a link. So it's a huge data set we were working with, but we basically used that to train a machine learning model. And after a bit of fine-tuning and perfectioning, we finally had a model that can simply tell when something should be a link, the same way that Rebecca can decide that something is a link. So this here is our predictions of where links will appear on this content by seeing plain text. And this here is what Rebecca did. This is us. This is Rebecca. And this is the overlap. You can see we've actually pointed at almost every link that she chose to make. And even the places where we missed, it feels like it's a reasonable choice. If she had made that as a choice for a link, it would have been still a good choice. So this is the matches and mismatches, but overall, it makes a lot of sense. The tool is free for the SEO community to use. It's called lingbird.com. The latest version of Lingbird has been fine-tuned on Google's own content. So we looked at how Google links out from their blog, and we also scraped OpenAI, and we looked at how they link out, and we added that to the model, retrained it on a better base model, and created a real link building expert out of that. This probably looks very familiar. High authority guest post service, yeah. So you've got all these links that people are pitching to you. We also have a tool called Penguin, which we use to see what is a paid link and what is natural links, what is fillers. We can basically tell 1 plus 2. What is the 1? What is the 2? So we put the website in, process it, analyze it, and we find the money links on it. And this is fairly reliable. There's very few links that we get wrong using this algorithm. So this is the tool called Penguin. That's all. I hope that this session was helpful and useful to everybody. I will be posting links to the tools under this video. Share your experiences and let me know how you go. Thanks, everyone.